Burley discussion today centers around Ibareki's and the strong likelihood of his proposed transfer to Arsenal. At this point, it remains the biggest story circulating in the Premier League, mainly because of how dramatically the deal shifted direction. Tottenham Hotspur genuinely believed they had the signing completed, but within the past 24 hours Arsenal have moved swiftly, hijacking the transfer and positioning themselves to secure the England international for the Emirates. For Arsenal, this feels like an exceptionally clever move, and many believe it benefits both the player and the club. Tottenham had looked like the natural destination largely because Eze had not appeared to have other major suitors, but Arsenal's approach provides a much more fitting home for his style of play. Eze improves Arsenal's squad in ways that are immediately clear. He is a versatile footballer, able to operate in multiple roles across the attack, and his natural talent has been evident at Crystal Palace and with England in recent seasons. Arsenal already have explosive wide options, such as Gabriel Martinelli with his direct pace, but Eze offers something different. When used on the left flank, he tends to drift intelligently into central positions, bringing unpredictability. He is also capable of performing in the number 10 role, which adds to his value. His end product is strong, and technically he excels at carrying the ball under pressure, as demonstrated in standout performances against top clubs like Chelsea and Liverpool. Whether in cup finals or high-pressure league matches, he has shown an ability to take possession in tight spaces against physically imposing defenders, using his skill to escape situations that looked impossible. He can glide past opponents, nutmeg them, or simply outwit them with flair. For Arsenal, this signing introduces qualities the team currently lack. Last season, in decisive games against the biggest rivals, Captain Martin Odegaard at times appeared lightweight, not ineffective, but not always as influential as required. Eze can step into similar positions, providing competition and cover, while also applying pressure on Odegaard to maintain high standards. He is not a guaranteed starter immediately, but in major fixtures against the likes of Manchester City or Liverpool, he could certainly earn a place in the starting 11. Over time, he has the potential to become central to Arsenal's best lineup. The arrival of Eze also signals that Arsenal now have one of their strongest squads in years. Manager Mikel Arteta no longer has the excuse of limited depth. He has been backed with signings that address weaknesses across the pitch. The club brought in a top-level defensive midfielder, added a reliable striker, and now have acquired a creative attacker who can unlock stubborn defenses. This is significant because in past seasons, Arsenal have struggled to break down compact opposition whenever Odegaard or Bukayo Saka were unavailable or out of form. With Saka sidelined at times last year, the team suffered, but with Eze in the squad, there is now genuine quality to rotate and maintain attacking threat. Eze is 27 years old, and this represents a massive step in his career. Many believe he is more than ready to make a meaningful difference at a top club, and this transfer comes at the perfect stage of his development. He brings something of an X factor, a creative spark that could be the final ingredient Arsenal need to finally secure the Premier League title. Some commentators even suggest his signing may be more significant than the addition of a striker because of how rare his type of creativity is. He will not necessarily be the player running tirelessly to track back, but his role will be to make things happen in possession. Much like players of Mesut Ozil's mold, he glides across the pitch and can single-handedly change the rhythm of a game. Interestingly, many have expressed surprise that Chelsea did not make a serious move for him, considering their current reliance on Cole Palmer. Top clubs generally need multiple players with match-winning ability, and Arsenal have now added another one to their ranks. Inside the Arsenal dressing room, the reaction to his arrival will almost certainly be positive. Far from insecurity, players understand that competing at the highest level requires depth and internal competition. Adding Eze raises the level of the entire squad, ensuring they have the tools to break down defensive setups that are common against elite clubs. From Tottenham's perspective, this is undoubtedly a bitter blow. They had reached agreements with both Palace and the player, and from their viewpoint, it seemed only a matter of time before the transfer was finalized. Yet Arsenal's intervention, prompted partly by Kai Havertz's injury, changed everything. Arsenal accelerated their plans, unwilling to risk another season disrupted by injuries in key attacking positions. For Eze, the decision was straightforward. He has been an Arsenal fan since childhood, and the chance to play at the Emirates was simply too significant to pass up. What complicates the picture further is the way Palace handled the situation. Spurs had been told Ease would still feature in Palace's Thursday fixture before completing the move, but once Arsenal emerged, the stance shifted. Ease will now not play, partly to avoid jeopardizing his dream transfer. This raises the perception that different rules applied depending on which club was negotiating. While Spurs may feel aggrieved, ultimately, Arsenal acted decisively at the crucial moment, and for Ease, the opportunity to join his boyhood club proved irresistible. The signing also speaks volumes about Arsenal's ambitions under Mikel Arteta. For the past 2 years, the club has been steadily climbing back to the top level, pushing Manchester City close in the title race but ultimately falling short. One of the reasons has been squad depth. When injuries struck, particularly to Bukayo Saka, the team struggled to maintain the same level of quality. Now, with Ease joining alongside other high-profile arrivals, Arsenal finally have the kind of depth required to compete across all fronts. A defensive midfielder of genuine class has been brought in, a center forward has been added, and now a creative attacker with the ability to decide big games has been secured. This is no longer an Arsenal side with gaps or excuses. Arteta has been backed significantly in the transfer market, and the expectation is clear. Deliver silverware, and specifically, deliver the Premier League title. The addition of Ease, at 27 years old and entering the prime of his career, could be the decisive piece of the puzzle. Some even argue he is more important than the signing of a striker, because players of his creative mold are so rare. Arsenal have not had someone with his balance of flair and end product since the days of Mesut Ozil at his peak. Much like Ozil, Ease is not a tireless runner who will track back 60 yards, but that is not his job. His job is to make things happen, to glide through defensive blocks, and to create chances when others cannot. The surprise, for many, is that Chelsea did not act more aggressively to secure him. With their reliance on Cole Palmer becoming increasingly apparent, Ease would have been a perfect addition. Modern top teams need more than one player capable of producing match-winning moments. Arsenal have now positioned themselves with multiple X factors in their attack, which gives them a significant advantage. Inside the Arsenal dressing room, his arrival is likely to be welcomed. At this level, competition is expected, and the players know that only by raising standards can they finally topple Manchester City. Rather than insecurity, Ease's signing will bring belief that the squad is better prepared to break down opponents who sit deep and frustrate. In the Premier League, particularly against sides outside the traditional top 6, games are often decided by whether a team can unlock a compact defensive block. Ease specializes in exactly that. He drifts past opponents, draws fouls, wins free kicks in dangerous positions, and provides that spark of creativity which can turn a draw into a victory. For Ease himself, this is a dream move. A boyhood Arsenal fan, he has long imagined pulling on the famous red shirt, and now he will get his chance. It represents the biggest step of his career, moving from being the standout star at Palace to becoming part of an elite squad competing for titles. At 27, he is mature enough to handle the pressure and ambitious enough to seize the opportunity. For Tottenham, the story is a painful one. They did almost everything right, reaching agreements with both Palace and the player, yet ultimately they were gazumped by their fiercest rivals. The situation is made worse by the fact that Arsenal had been monitoring Ease all summer. They had already spoken to Palace earlier in the window to register their interest and to ensure they would be kept informed of developments. Once Kai Havertz picked up an injury on Sunday, Arsenal accelerated their decision-making, unwilling to risk being left short of attacking options again. Spurs may feel aggrieved, but the truth is Arsenal acted faster and more decisively.